Overview: the enchanting story of frog Tiddalik. An enthralling myth with strong roots in Australian Aboriginal culture is the tale of Tiddalik the Frog. It tells the story of a voracious frog whose quest for food changed the landscape and left a lasting legacy, and it is woven into Dreamtime legend. Origin of Tiddalik, a sacred creation from the dream era. Tiddalik was brought forth by the ancestor spirits in the timeless Dreamtime before the actual world came into being. Tiddalik, being an embodiment of the element of water, had an unquenchable thirst that was greater than any other. His enormous body threw a powerful shadow over the ground, indicating his unwavering will to drink. Tiddalik's unquenchable thirst, the thirsty tide. Tiddalik started a never-ending search to quench his thirst while the dry land called out for moisture. He left behind barren wastelands as he slurped up lakes and rivers. However, his thirst persisted, prompting him to look for ever larger water sources. The Great Assembly. Animals come together to help Tiddalik. The land's creatures banded together to help Tiddalik as they realized the terrible repercussions of his unquenchable hunger. Every creature, from the quick-witted emu to the sage-old goanna, offered their special skills to help the frantic frog. Together, they sought to restore the land's equilibrium and quench Tiddalik's hunger. Unfazed by his past mistakes, Tiddalik came up with a clever scheme. His tongue stretched to its maximum length as he waited at the ocean's edge. With lightning speed, Tiddalik flicked his tongue to catch the water in its sticky grasp as the unwary tide drew closer. Tiddalik's persistent deception paid off, and he was able to contain the enormous ocean inside his tongue. The tide turned back as he pulled the water in his direction, revealing large areas of land that had been underwater. After his hunger was finally quenched, Tiddalik released the water that had been confined, forming the lakes, swamps, and rivers that now adorn Australia's terrain. But Tiddalik's overindulgence had disastrous results. The enormous amount of water was now too much for his swollen stomach to hold. It exploded with a loud roar, spouting water all over the place. The deluge altered the landscape of the continent and produced enormous inland seas. The numerous rivers, lakes, and swamps that make up modern-day Australia were created by the ruptured stomach of Tiddalik. For the Aboriginal people, these bodies of water became essential for transportation and nourishment, promoting life and prosperity across the nation. Tiddalik's story became a timeless fable about the results of excess and greed, and his legacy went well beyond his physical appearance. Numerous versions and interpretations of the Tiddalik story have been passed down through the generations of Aboriginal people over the course of millennia. According to some stories, Tiddalik is a cunning prankster who outsmarts the other animals by using his thirst. In others, he is presented as a tragic character whose unquenchable thirst ultimately brings him to ruin. Whatever its variations, the myth's central lesson about the value of moderation and balance never changes. In Australian Aboriginal civilization, Tiddalik the Frog has great cultural significance. The interdependence of all living things and the precarious equilibrium of the natural world are symbolized by his story. It reminds people of their obligation to coexist peacefully with the earth by highlighting the negative effects of excessive consumerism and greed. For many generations, Aboriginal beliefs, art, and storytelling have been influenced by the myth of Tiddalik, which still serves as an inspiration to modern authors and artists.